our last team, West
Last but not
Virginia.
least, right? West Virginia, right? Neil Brown. Not last, not least. I don't know.
West
Sorry.
Virginia. Yeah. West Virginia. Sorry. I mean, last year, I'm going to say it. I get injuries. I get injuries. I get it. I get it. I get it. Y'all were lucky to win 5 games. All right. That is what. And look, I got burned because I took the over 5.5. I'll admit it. I did that. I fell for it. I fell for JT Daniels. I fell for Graham Harrell, right? Not doing that at Purdue this year. Falling for Graham
Well,
Harrell.
they should have won. They should have won that first week one, right? Or not should have won, but they could have won that game. That changed the whole season there.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I mean, they got a new promotion at OC. Look, does Neil the storyline in the offseason too is like, is Neil Brown gonna hand over play calling? The answer is no. His job is on the line, right? Like he's not gonna be handing over anything, right? This team just screams like, I don't know what you want to call it, like wounded animal backed in a corner, right? Like this team screams like he is doing everything he can, Neil Brown, to save his job. And I'm not convinced it's gonna work. His over under total is at 4.5. Their schedule is brutal. It is brutal. And I'm gonna say I should be taking the under, but I didn't. Do I? I don't know. Maybe when you say your stuff, maybe I'll change my mind all of a sudden. But gosh, it really feels like that this could be a disaster season. They lost JT Daniels, they lost Bryce Ford Wheaton, Dante Stills. They did get a lot of transfers though, so the volatility there, right? Like they could have some dudes, but is Garrett Green a good quarterback at all? Right? Well, one, does he start? Right? I think he probably will, but is he a guy? I don't know. Like change every wide receiver position that you could possibly think of, right? And I guess the O line's back. That's pretty good, but like, how good were they last year? Yeah, I don't know. They were okay. They're fine. It was actually probably one of their strengths, but they were hurt last year, a lot of them. So, uh, tough to really like gauge how I feel about this team because of all the transfers. But also too, like, I'm not sure a lot of these transfers are going to be impact. Like, I think he wanted them to be. Like, I think Neil Brown wanted them to be, but there's a good chance that a lot of these guys don't even start. In spots that he thought that he had holes at. So when they lost 3 defensive linemen, yeah, sure, they got a lot of transfers there. It's kind of like a last resort, but it was like 3 or 4 transfers on the defensive line.
Yep.
Yeah, I get that Charles Woods got hurt last year. Like he was going to be a guy, okay, but now he's gone. Davis Ballinger got hurt too, but I don't know. You had guys like Beanie Bishop. You know a little bit more about Beanie Bishop than I do. Anthony Wilson, they had as well at corner. Uh, Montre Miller, they also had a corner. I mean, so I don't know. I really want to take the under pretty bad because 4.5 just feels high. I'm sorry, West Virginia. I really am. I know your CJ Donaldson's your guy too, but we'll see.
Well, the reason why I took CJ Donaldson in our little fancy draft we did is because the O line, they kind of have a really damn good group. Right?
Yeah.
It's the best unit on the team. They go 7 deep that they actually like with. They do like, and I think CJ Donaldson with the quarterback that I don't like at all. Garrett Green and Nico Marjoli, whatever, and then even Sean Boyle, the freshman, he's not going to play. But nobody else is. I mean, I don't like any of them, to be honest. The reason why I actually don't take the under because I like it's honestly because of that quarterback room, because I don't see the wheels falling off, because I think a team that's built that runs the ball and that plays good defense, which I think they're going to do, I think they have a chance to be in every game they're going to play in. Right. And if they get adequate quarterback play, week to week, every other week, they're going to win 5 games. So that's what scares me with taking the under. So I'm kind of leaning push, and it wouldn't surprise me if they win 5 games. Now, is 5 games enough to save his job at Neil Brown? I don't know. I think you need 6, closer to 7. But with that schedule, I don't see it. Right, Penn State's not going to be a bloodbath. week 1. Although they're breaking in Drew Allar, but at Penn State, there's no chance. Hosting Pitt, a nice rivalry game. Uh, again, I don't see it. So I don't know. I think that the overall roster isn't terrible. I went into this fully ready to take the under. I've lost all faith in Neil Brown. Right, I'm ready to take down. I think the wheels are going to fall off. It's going to be like Scott Frost, his last season at Nebraska. I mean, but I think the defensive back room is pretty damn good. Not damn good. I think it's pretty good. Right, Anthony Wilson is pretty good. Seems to be a hit in the transfer portal for them. Beanie Bishop, I know what he can do. I know the floor he gives you in that room. So anyone better than him that plays is pretty good too. He's an experienced guy. Linebacking position they don't love, but again, there's some older people in that room. So what can you really do about linebacker? The D line, it's a deep group, right? They brought in 3 transfers. They probably won't play a ton, but it's bodies that they have depth. So it's not like they're gonna be just gonna be decimated by injuries. And it's really gonna fall off the wheels. I don't know. The wide receiver room is interesting. Devin Carter seems like a hit so far. Rodney Gallagher is a really interesting true freshman to watch. I think they're gonna get the ball in his hands and he's gonna make plays. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm optimistic on West Virginia. I'm just cautiously pessimistic, if that makes sense. I'm cautious to be pessimistic.
Yeah, I get it. I'm definitely a little bit more pessimistic on this team than you. I'll say that like Neil Brown gets fired pretty early, right? Some teams get better when they fire their coach. Georgia Tech was an example last year. I mean, you fire Jeff Collins and bring in Brent Key, and he goes 4-4. Like that's pretty wild. So like because also the effect of Neil Brown too, you fire him and then you get a new play caller in there and might rejuvenate the offense a little bit, in that way. So that's also a reason why I'm kind of scared off of it a little bit. But I don't know. I see the wheels falling off, but I don't know. I can't do it. I probably should. I don't know. I have till Saturday to figure that out. But officially for this show, I will not be taking the under on West Virginia.